All right, welcome back to BM Talk to Them. So today we actually have Sativa joining us.
Hey girl,
Welcome.
hey, welcome
Hi.
in.
How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
We're
Good,
good, we're
doing really
good.
good.
So Sativa, obviously you actually went viral, quite a bit.
Yeah, we had you on episode 31
Episode
of Pop
31.
the Balloon or Find Love.
Right. And
Hmm.
how was your experience on the show so far?
Yeah.
It was cool. All the girls were super nice. Just the whole experience was pretty smooth. And after, I'm not gonna lie, it was really fun. I don't know if you guys saw, but like we had like went out to this Mexican restaurant, so it was just really nice to make connections with the other girls and stuff like that. And but yeah, it was a great experience. Nothing bad.
Yeah, so good. So, like he said, your clip on Instagram went pretty viral. I think when we were talking off camera a little bit, you mentioned it's at like 5 million now.
Yeah.
That's insane. And girl, that's all because you are like just a walking viral moment, if we're really being honest. Like
Yeah, I guess my whole
from the
existence.
piercings, the
Yeah.
tattoos, like I don't even know where to start.
I know, and I always tell people like it's a lot. I know it's a lot, but it's just a part of who I am. It's part of my journey, and it's just like our journeys just look different, and that's just what I try to tell people. What's right for me may not be right for you, and vice versa. So,
Yeah. I think first things first though, there were a lot of comments like Sativa, really? Is that her
oh,
name? Clear Go ahead and clear the air. Is that your real name?
yes, yes, that is my given name at birth. So, my mom actually had got pregnant at 14 and had me when she was 15.
Oh.
And she just like she says she thought it was really pretty. And it's actually it's funny. I didn't even know what my name was, like how it's a type of marijuana. Like I didn't know that until I was in middle school, and it was because
Oh
these
wow.
boys were singing the Afro Man song because I got high. That was how I figured out what my name was. I went home like crying, like I was
Oh.
devastated. I was like, I'm never going by the sativa again. I went look, I even like changed my name at one point. I've had a lot of like turmoil with my name
Mm.
because people
Mm.
think like it's either fake, it's for fun. I changed it. I'm like, no, like my mom predestined me to be like everything that this is.
Today, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
no, my mom was just a young mom and from California. So,
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Okay. So what made you wanna come on Pop the Balloon or Find Love?
Ooh, good
Well,
question.
one, I'm not gonna lie, like I have watched the show a lot, and what I really, really liked was how people kind of had an opportunity to be in front of people that they, in other terms, like wouldn't be put in front of. And
Hmm.
I just thought it would like, what would be the chances that I meet someone who actually isn't like taken aback by my appearance, you know?
Mm.
Especially because for me, dating has always been difficult. Like, once I got a little extra. I feel like people kind of have their own like view of me and stigma of me before I even have a chance to really like express myself or even have any sort of like conversation past how I look and stuff. So I just was
Mm.
looking kind of like for that kind of opportunity to be able to, I don't want to say plead my case, but almost
Hmm.
just be able to show like I'm so much more than how I look, you know? And I feel like your guys' show is exactly that. You're putting people in front of people that in other ways would never have met each other. So,
Right.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you said that dating has been difficult for you, right? Now,
Complicated.
obviously, so obviously the way that obviously you look right now is, would you say that is it easy for you to for guys to approach you, or do you think they're intimidated by how you look?
mm, I would say it's kind of a mix.
Mm.
I feel like I get approached a lot. Um, but I also don't get approached sometimes. It kind of like depends on the setting, you know?
Okay.
I would say at the gym, I get approached a lot. A lot. Let's see. But like I don't really go clubbing. I don't really do a lot of social things, so I almost don't have a lot of opportunities for people to really even see me and engage with me fully, except really at the gym. So,
Mm.
um but yeah, I would say people approach me thinking I'm going to be one way. And then after they hear me talk and hear like I'm super smart, I'm like really creative, like I can do these, I'm telling you, these hands got talent. But um yeah, so I don't know if that necessarily answers your question. It's kind of like I think people most of the time in real life, like obviously online it's different, but a lot of the times in real life people aren't as taken aback by my appearance, and if they are shocked by how I look, they it usually comes with a compliment. I haven't really gotten a lot of like backlash in real life, if that makes sense. But I will say this, people tend to think I'm not a professional, like unless once I say I do tattoos, they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But sometimes people have their own idea of what I may do. So, and I talk a lot, so I'm just prepping y'all. I talk a lot.
When I called you, you were surprised that
We're selected.
that you were selected.
I
Why was you
was.
surprised?
Um, just because I mean, I feel like a lot of the people on the show kind of look a certain way. I think that they all look different in their own way, but it's still kind of like a similar aesthetic. I think maybe I've seen a couple girls that still kind of had more of the tattoos, more a little bit of like that alternative. I forgot her name, but there's one that's coming to mind specifically. Like she would pop her own balloon all every time. Do you know who I'm
Hmm.
talking about? She was like an exotic dancer, but only did that like
Zola.
Oh,
It's talking
oh,
about Zola. Yeah, yeah.
okay.
yeah.
Because she had the
So
tattoo on her face as
Yeah,
well. Hmm.
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the little one, it was so cute. But so like yeah, I just didn't think I feel like that there are a lot of like professional people that go on there, like the lawyers, the doctors, the dental assistants, things like that. I've never heard of. I mean, I guess you guys get rappers sometimes and clothing lines, things like that, but I hadn't really seen like a super, I don't even want to say super hardcore, but very more unorthodox people, but who still have like a profession. Like I still consider myself a professional. It's just I draw on people and canvases. It's just a different type, you know. So
Yeah. So you ended up popping on, I would say mostly everyone except for one. So what is your type? Like, let's start with physically.
oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so I've dated black guys most of my life. Like
Hmm.
Mm.
definitely a majority. I've dated black men. Um, but I don't know if they're really fully my type, so I might have like a hidden bias, if that makes sense. I'm about to
Okay.
get dragged.
Uh
But I do like white guys more. I think white guys
oh.
are kind of more my type.
Is this
Like
as
I'm
of recent or is it
yes,
always
as of recent. Yes.
okay?
Yes.
What
So
what what why is that?
Yeah, why'd it change? What's caused the shift?
oh my god.
Uh
um I dated a white guy, and it was just honestly, he treated me like I've never been treated before. So,
oh.
yeah, and then like
Okay.
it's just I kind of like liked it, was into that, and now I just kind of like that. But and I know on the show you guys don't ever really have like white guys and people on there, but which is fine. I'm not against like dating black men. I would just say my actual particular type at this stage in my life, like currently,
Mm.
is definitely like white country, like blue collar, hands on, guns type of stuff. So
So
Wow.
so
yeah.
let me ask you a question. So looking at this show, why did you think that
You would find your type there, right?
right?
I still like black guys. Like it's not like I'm against dating black guys. It's just like, say if I was like walking down the street, I might look at the white guy in a trucker hat for
Mm.
first, you know, but
Okay.
I'm not against dating black men or anything like that. And again, the white guy thing is definitely a more recent thing.
Mm.
Um yeah, I guess that's just what it is. But I don't really think that deep into it. So it's not like I'm like die hard white guy or die hard black. It's kind of like I've just been lately been thinking the white men look good. But they're still, black men are still handsome. They're still attractive. They still have a lot to offer. Nothing really takes away from that. So I guess that would be my answer for that. That I wasn't
Okay.
like, oh, they're not gonna have a white guy, so I'm not gonna like. It's just if I matched, I matched. If I didn't,
Mm.
I didn't. So.
So when you came on the show, say for instance you come on the show and you match with a black guy, right?
Hmm.
Would you say that you are willing to make it work fully because knowing that they're not really like your typical type right now?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Again, at the end of the day, it's how we connect and kind of that vibe and our interests and stuff like that. And
Okay.
I think a lot of my interests just haven't aligned with a lot of the black guys that I've dated. I think it's kind of like that simple for me.
Mm.
Um, in that regard. But yeah, like if I would have matched with someone and our interests aligned, like the skin tone isn't gonna deter me from that, you know? It's just more
Okay.
so I guess I just like white
Just
guys
like
right
the
now.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but still the quality of character trumps, any of that. So,
Hmm.
Okay.
yeah.
So Sativa, you actually sent us some pictures of what you actually look like before,
Yes.
and I actually want to put some of these pictures up so everyone can see.
Go ahead.
So as you can see, this is how she looked like before.
For the tattoos and the piercings
Oh
on the
gosh, the
face.
things people.
So yeah, this is how she looked. Now,
Hmm.
I want to ask you, right?
Yeah.
What made you get into this type of stuff? Like, the piercings, the tattoos all over your body.
Tattoos.
Like, what made you really get deep into it?
Um, I think my reasoning has kind of changed over time. Which is kind of like a trip to me, and I think that's just a part of just how we grow. I think our intention changes. Um, but it really all started when I actually started to tattoo. So I worked for like I've had like a variety of different type of jobs, but the most recent job I had, but like before I started tattooing, I had got fired because I was just like too much. That's what she said. Like I was wanting a whole art wall, getting paintings donated. I just was doing too much for what she was trying to do. So I got fired from that job. And I told myself, I was like, well, I'll just never work for anyone again.
Mm.
And I just door dashed. So I was like, as long as I make $30 to $50 a day, I'm good. And then I was like, wait, I could draw logos for people, you know? So then I started to do just like $50 logos. Um, and then one day I was like door dashing and there was just tattoos, hardcore. Um, and I was like, I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna try it,
Mm.
see what happens. And then I just like my whole life changed, like I was never broke again. I really have been on a self healing journey just from a lot of what my life has been. Um, and I know that that may sound like I'm saying I got the tattoos out of trauma, but I honestly got tatted and pierced up in my most healed point, you know. And honestly, I had pictures of like girls who had piercings, tattoos, tongue splits, multicolored hair. Like I had tons of pictures in my phone growing up. I just every time I dated someone, they wanted me to be like a certain type of look, and it just was never who I was. So once I actually became single and was on like more of my career and self exploration, I just realized that I am more expressive. I am a little unorthodox. I am a little extreme. Um, but that's I guess that's what it is for me. But and also tattoos and piercings have been a part of like our history and ancestry in almost every type of ethnicity, from Black culture, African culture, to indigenous native culture, to even like Viking age. Like tattoos and adornments have been a representation of like status, and like whether you were a warrior, a general, a medicine man, or all those things are such huge representations. So I think it's actually kind of crazy the judgments that tattoos and adornments get, when these are like indigenous practices. These are things that, and I know, when even if people want to bring up the Bible when it comes to Leviticus, in the sense of like you can't worship other gods, like through scarification and things like that, like that is completely different than what it is, the intention is that we use for it today, if that makes sense. So I don't know if that was a good answer, but I could talk about it
Okay.
forever. So yeah.
So, so do you feel like the tattoos and the piercings, like that's you? You're not hiding behind anything?
No, no. Yeah, this is just who I am. I'm just
Okay.
I'm different. It's not like I even hold on to the piercings as if it's just like the biggest shield. I literally took out one, two, three, four, five. I took out five piercings recently out of my face. Before the show, I had more piercings, but I took them out.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's not like it's just like I need this in my life. It's just I like it. If I feel like it doesn't serve me how I need it to serve me, in the sense, if I don't like it, I let it go. If it's inconvenient, I let it go. It's I guess it's deep, but not that deep.
Like, I want to ask you, like, do you feel pain?
Like
Yeah,
when,
I feel pain. I think that I process pain differently. So like, and like on like a biological level. So like what hurts for me, it takes a lot for me to want to say ouch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like even my four eyebrow rings, four eyebrow piercings,
Hmm.
I got them done at the same time.
so you have a high pain tolerance.
Yeah, probably
Uh,
like above average. Yeah, for
oh
sure.
gosh.
I got like a
Okay.
6 hour rib tattoo. Yeah. And there's people who can handle even more than that. Like, uh,
What led to the tongue split? You know, that moment that went
oh,
viral all over the internet. Everybody saw it, show it to people. They're like, like everyone, I feel like had the same reaction when they saw you stick your tongue out and it just went in two different ways.
yeah.
So, what led to that?
Um, I honestly just saw it on the reels, and I was like, oh, that shit is sick. I want it.
So, you didn't even like process it for long. You just saw it and you're like, okay, I'm going to go do
Well,
it.
so you have to book it really far in advance. So I
Okay.
like was seeing it, and the thing is, I had like again, I had seen it when I was younger. It was something like I thought was cool, but it's not like it was like I specifically want that, right?
Okay.
Until because I've only had it for like I got it done in like August.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
So
it's
it's
only a few months.
yeah. Uh-huh. It heals really fast, 7 days. And I
You've
took the
only,
stitches out myself. I do have a video of that too.
When I asked you, do you feel pain? I meant, like, do you still feel pain? Like, because obviously you have a
Oh.
lot going on.
Oh, no. Mm-mm. I would say just my cheek piercings, and that's because the cheeks take like a year to heal. So I'm actually, you guys probably can't tell. You guys don't see me enough to know, but like my cheeks are currently swollen. And it was super swollen a couple days ago. Like it was, but so the cheek piercings get annoying because again, they take a whole year to be healed, and sometimes even longer, just because you move your jaw so much. But as far as like my tongue, no, I can move it, I can eat, I can talk. I did have a lisp really bad. Like it was like it was pretty bad.
So how did that go away?
It just went away over time. I just got used to talking with it. Yeah.
So like when you're eating, is like food falling in between your tongue or
That's funny.
Right. I don't know. How
I
does
don't
that work?
know.
You know?
Like
So not all the time, but like if sometimes like if I'm eating vegetables, like a
uh
pea might fall in between, and then
oh
I can
my.
like scoop it out.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So obviously that's a new experience for most people. Was
hmm
you not weirded out yourself? Like, was you not like? Did you not find it weird?
Seeing that?
Uh, man, let me tell you, I should have sent you guys some pictures of the process because that
Oh no, I
was
don't think
something.
anybody.
No,
I don't.
seriously, that was something else. Like that was like a whole another thing in its own. And then I couldn't eat for 7 days. So I had literally lost like 7 pounds, no,
Oh.
10 pounds. Like I was,
Wow.
people who saw me, they were like, "Are you okay?" And I still had stitches and I was like trying to express, like, I haven't eaten for a
Mm.
week. Like
So
I'm
you're doing what, like
dying.
drinking smoothies?
So I had to literally use a syringe, pull water out, and shoot it to the back of my throat. And even then, like, it wasn't enough. When I tell you I was so thirsty and so hungry, like, that was probably the worst part. But the pain wise, again, like, some girls say that that was the worst pain they ever experienced, but I
Uh-huh.
don't know, I still felt worse. So
Oh my goodness.
Was it worth it?
yeah, I mean, I guess, like, what am I comparing the worth to?
Hmm.
Does that make sense? Like, what like, how do I add, like, what's the value? Like,
No, I mean
Like
I'm
would you
talking
do
about
it
like would you
again?
is it worth in terms of obviously you couldn't eat, for
oh,
days
oh,
and
oh,
all of
yeah,
that.
for sure. No, I love it. It's like one of my favorite body modifications, honestly. When I'm in the gym, it gets crazy.
Oh wow. I need to
I do stick it out when I'm working out. I do. I do. Especially when I'm going like real hard and it's getting
uh,
difficult. I'm like, yeah, ton has to come out. I got to get my like power up, my
okay.
recharge.
Got it. So on the show, you mentioned to one of the gentlemen that you're trying to go towards a different path in life.
Yeah.
Talk us through that. What is this path you're trying to
Okay.
go towards, and what brought you to this point?
Yeah. Okay. So I think that our sanctification with Christ just, it's a constant journey. And I guess the best way to relate myself to that is I'm a work in progress. There's a lot of things that I'm working on since that I've truly found God and stuff, and that includes, like, I've been trying to um a lot of the stuff that I used to paint was highly inappropriate, but for very specific reasons. Art is very subjective. I think that, what other people find funny may have been more so trauma or things that the artists have been through, but we use humor to express that. Um, but just with my journey with God, I've done a lot of healing. So a lot of the things that I was painting that was inappropriate humor, I don't feel that way anymore. You know,
Okay.
my heart feels different. I still, don't get me wrong, I've been like kind of recycling some of my paintings just for content and stuff, but a lot of the pieces I'm working on right now are very different than what I used to paint because I just feel different because of my journey with God. And honestly, when people say that God has made us in his image, what I think in that regard is our ability to be creative and relational. So it's like to create and to relate to others, and it gives me goosebumps. Whoo, it gives me goosebumps talking about it. So, um, I forgot where exactly I was going with that, but oh yeah, so my point is is that the best way for me to glorify God to the best of my ability as I'm through this journey is allowing my art to change with the way that my heart is changing.
Okay.
So, and the reason why I bring up how we are like God and the way that we're able to create, because that's what God did, is he created. He just, that is a huge characteristic of who God is. And I love being able to explore what that looks like with the Holy Spirit's influence versus the pain and trauma influence that I had before him. So there's that.
Some of the tattoos that you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, would just they a lot of them are kind of controversial. You know,
Yeah.
especially like you know, you say you found God. Um, some of these tattoos. Do you want to explain some of them?
Yeah, is there specific ones, or do you want me to bring up the ones that I have off top that people may
Yeah, the ones that
have?
you
Yeah, the
have
one you
up
have
top.
up top. Yeah.
Okay, so I have one on my shin that is a Oni mask, which is like, it's from, oh gosh, I don't want to get dragged through the comments for being wrong, but it's from like Japanese, Chinese culture. It's like a demon that fights off other demons, something like that. Um, which now with my knowledge of intention behind the way we're supposed to live and stuff, there
Mm.
are tattoos that I do want to cover up and change. I just haven't had an opportunity. I also do have one on my chest that has like a 5 pointed star.
Okay.
No, 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 not, it's not the Star of David. It's like a one, two, three, four, five. No, it's a 6 pointed star. But when I got this tattoo, when I did this one, I didn't know what it was. Like, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't even know it was an alien. I wasn't, you know.
So
So I
you
actually
let
do.
so someone did that on you, or you
No, no,
did it
no.
on yourself and you didn't know what it was?
I did it on myself and I didn't know what it was.
So
Like, it was
so
just on Pinterest. It was like an alien
so you just
picture.
like this. So you're someone like if you just like something,
You just do
you go
it.
with the flow.
Yeah, I am a little spontaneous.
Okay. So you're saying you want to cover them up with more tattoos, or are you leaning more towards like laser removal?
Oh, no, 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 no. So my chest, I actually plan on getting a biblical angel cover up on my whole chest. So that's my
Okay.
plan. And then the one on my shin, that's the Oni mask that I want to get rid of. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I might black out that whole bottom half of my leg. So
Okay.
yeah.
So with you, moving your life towards, following Christ and things like that, do you attend church, or are you still working your way up to that? Like, how is this change in
Um,
your life happening?
so I actually was, I did have, okay, so I had a home church.
Mhm.
I was doing Bible study before service, then going to service, and then doing Bible study every single every single Thursday with the people I did Bible study with on Sundays, except instead of with our actual teacher, it was just all us young adults.
Okay.
There ended up being just some unfortunate miscommunications that kind of led to some uncomfortability and things of that such. That, you know, yes, it kind of hurt me a little bit. I'm still kind of dealing with that with them and stuff. And that's like a whole nother story, but I did find another church that I did attend and I love it. I've been traveling a lot,
Mhm.
obviously. I'm in California right now. So I've been watching the online service, but once I get back to Oklahoma, then I'll be back active, like going every Sunday and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so church is a big thing for me. My son comes to, like, he goes to church as well. They have like a kid Bible study that he goes to. So
Hmm.
um yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, no, church and studying the Bible is really big for me. And I'm not extremely knowledgeable, but I do take pride in the way that I do study and the questions that I do have and the work that I have done, and I've definitely come a long way, and it's only gonna transform even more. I may take out all my piercings. I don't know. I don't know what growth in Christ looks like. It's not supposed to have a specific appearance. It's supposed to have a specific type of feeling. And with that feeling comes the physical change. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
growth in Christ is amazing.
it is. It's
So,
beautiful. I've never felt so happy for just like existing, you know?
Right.
So
right.
Now, how long have you been on this journey? When did it start? What is there a moment that it just sat you were sitting there and it kind of just hit you? Like, how did this come to be and when?
yes. Yes. I would say probably like March, April
Okay.
time frame. So just this year. Um And like the thing is, I'm not gonna lie, like my life has been a lot. Like I have been through abnormally a lot of things that the average person probably one should never have to go through. Um and two probably wouldn't even go through just within their whole lifespan. A lot has happened, especially, I had a young mom, so I'm sure you can guess the things that come with that and stuff. And um but I finally the thing is when other people do things to you, it's easier to forgive in a way. It's really weird. And I know that seems twisted, but what I mean by that, and maybe not even forgive, but it's easier for you to like push it aside. Like, and just so you don't necessarily feel all the emotion of certain trauma because you had no control. I didn't have control over a lot of the things that happened, so I was able to kind of disregard a lot. Um, but then I made a choice that absolutely destroyed me. I literally, like, out of everything I've ever been through in my whole life, and I've been through a lot, like, I promise, it's absolutely abnormal what I've been through. And it took me making a decision that, like, I picked to do this choice, and it's just I couldn't even look at myself. I couldn't look at myself. Um and one day I like fell to the floor and I just like was cradling myself. And I was like begging to God. I was like, I can't do this. And like it gets me emotional thinking about it because I remember how that felt. And I literally was like begging him. Like I was begging and I didn't even know who I was begging to, you know? Like I believed in God. I knew about Jesus. I knew about it, but I didn't know who I was like literally begging to. Like I was begging for help. Like I there's not even a full like I couldn't even just fully describe how just destroyed I was. Like completely just very major rock bottom. I think that me making a choice I couldn't face kind of just was a catalyst to unlock a whole bunch of like a floodgate of pain from what my whole life has been. And it just like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it by myself, you know? Because I know I've seen uh, there's not a lot of comments that bring up my son just because that wasn't super talked about, but my son's father is also deceased, so it
Oh
really is
wow.
just me
Sorry
and
to
my
hear that.
son, and so it's just I made a choice, and there's I couldn't deal with it. I was in a denial for a lot of stuff, and I finally just like I gave in to God, if that makes sense. Like I accepted that I am not strong enough to do it alone. I can't
Yeah.
walk through fire by myself,
Right.
you know? I can't. So,
Well,
yeah.
sorry to hear about your son's father.
Yeah.
And you know, God is amazing. You know, when you feel like you're stuck or lost, I always say seek out to God, because, he will never leave his children.
100%. He'll
And
never forsake us.
100%. I also want to say as well, right? Did you feel like when you found God, maybe something started making sense to why you have been processing the things that you've been processing the way you have? Did you feel like, oh, I did this because of different reasons, and it all just started making sense to you that, God is kind of putting you back into line? Did you feel that?
Yeah, I think that when you ask for the veil to be to be removed, it'll be removed. I think that once I truly accepted Christ and God into my heart, that a lot of things that I didn't understand finally made sense. A lot of things that I was angry about, I was no longer angry about. A lot of people I couldn't forgive, I finally forgave. Um, I literally can't explain the understanding that just like overcame my whole being, you know?
Mm.
I went again from anger, um, just confusion, desperation, depression, just all these things to I be what's up, like there's not and even so my I have even other again, my life has been a lot from what's from my son to his dad to just everything. I have a lot I could be angry about. I
Right.
have so much I could be angry about. I could be angry about my childhood. I could be angry about my dad. I could be angry about some other people. I could be angry about even the things that have happened to my son. Like, I could be angry about so many things, but instead, I'm just rolling with the punches. I'm walking through the fire, and I feel like it doesn't burn that much because God is such a strong cloak. Like God is stronger than any fire, any flood, anything. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I notice whenever I leave it to God, it works out better than what I thought it could be.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that just on my journey, the worst case has never happened. And I've had even though people think the things that have happened with me are worst case, it's not. It's not. Like my son is still here. I'm still here. Like my life could be very different right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very grateful. And I continue to tell him I'm grateful. I don't think I'm perfect. I think I have so much to work on. And even in the way that I glorify him, I'm excited to see how much better I can get with that. Like, I'm just, God's really changed my life. And I just
Amen.
happen to still have piercings and tattoos. So,
I mean, like you said, you just started this journey. And I think a lot of people think that once you've decided, yes, I'm going to give my life to Christ, I'm not going to be a follower of Christ, that like everything you were doing before is going to change in one day. And
yeah,
I
it's
think
not
that's
how it
where a
works.
lot of people get confused because following Christ is a journey. Even when
Yeah.
you're born again, you're saved, you're going to church every Sunday, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're still learning and
Mm-hmm.
you're still changing every single day. God's always working within us every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not an
Exactly.
overnight thing, you know? So
It's not. And honestly, like so I got baptized and if you guys watched the video where I got baptized and when you
mhm,
hear how he talks about me, like I have taken my faith so serious. It doesn't mean that I practice the things in 100% perfection, right? Like again, I'm still human. I'm still going to fall short, but it's the fact that I rather fall short than not try,
yeah.
So and just like you said, it's not overnight. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
literally the fact that I took out 5 piercings, ask any one of my mentors, do you think she would have took those out? No, not at all. And I took out 5, and that's why I
Exactly.
tell people I don't know. I don't have all the answers. God
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
has the answers, and he now that I'm learning about discernment and the difference between conviction and condemnation, now that I'm
Hmm.
learning the feeling difference, now my choices are starting to change,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and that's just
Good.
maturing in faith. I'm not gonna like I've been wearing pants to the gym. Okay, that's a big deal for me. All right,
Okay,
that's a big
modesty.
deal. you know, so it's just little, and it may seem like little things, but
Hmm.
if you guys knew how hard I would defend behavior just because, well, it's not so bad. It's not my responsibility. No, sometimes we have to like own up, be mature, and be like, if we want to be perceived different, we do have to adapt and be and change and grow. That doesn't
Exactly.
mean we take away from who we are. It means that our new identity is Christ and not this human physical form, you know?
Right. When you have Christ in your life, you have peace.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
walking with Christ, just having God in your life is something that means more than what you think it means.
It
When I come
does.
to the reunion and I praise God every single time, I mean it.
Yeah.
And I will never be shy to praise God.
Yeah, shoot, I
So
cry to God too. I be in the shower just ugly crying snot everywhere, and for
Yeah.
good and bad reason.
mhm.
I never ask why, but sometimes I'm like, I need a little extra today. Like I feel like it's okay to come to him for
Anything.
Anything,
yeah,
anything.
anything, any
You
reason.
seek out to God for anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Sativa, it was good having you on this platform. Thank you for
Thanks.
coming to share, your stories and stuff like that. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna really get to know you more
Yeah.
Yeah.
from
And
this episode.
yeah, and that's what I'm excited for. They would just come and start a ruckus. I'm
That's
sorry,
good.
but I'm super grateful for the opportunity. I mean, yeah, I didn't get a match, but that's okay. I feel like that it still has been a great opportunity to break the stigma of people who have kind of a different aesthetic, and how we're still articulate, God fearing, and
Yeah.
hard workers, and our look doesn't take away from that in any shape or form.
For
So
sure.
yeah.
I want everyone to let me know in the comments down below if you think that I should bring her back on the show. So comment down below if you think that I should bring her back on the show. But yeah, thank you for coming on the platform.
Yes.
We shall see if we shall have you back. But it definitely was something that a lot of people will learn from.
Definitely.
So we thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And again, sorry about the little gremlins in the background.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining this episode of BM Talk to Them, and we will catch you all next time.
Bye.